Homicide Detective Jack Leon was summoned to the scene of a first date. Jack was surprised by the call. He knew that first dates sometimes went bad.
I've been on a few horrendous first dates myself, but none of my first dates ended in death.
Shortly after getting the call, Jack arrived at the house of 29-year-old Angela Martin.
Walter, we're live on the scene at what appears to be one of the most horrendous crimes the city's ever seen, especially in a neighborhood such as this. Now, we're not clear exactly what happened yet, but we're here to find out. The cops are everywhere. There was an ambulance, but I'm being told that it's gone. There were no lights.
Hey, Jack, what do you say?
Hey.
What a time to be alive, eh?
Yeah.
Here, let me get that for you.
A uniformed officer lifted the crime scene tape, and Jack ducked under it.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. Here's to hoping you catch the sorry sucker that did this.
Well.
It ain't a pretty sight in there.
The front door was unlocked, and he let himself in. Jack made his way to the kitchen. Jack remembered when he first became a police officer. When he saw a dead body, he would be shocked.
I wonder when that shock disappeared.
Jack thought. There were gory crime scenes that did shock him.
Hold still!
I think I hit your funny bone.
But it happened less and less. Unless something unexpected came up on the toxicology report, Jack could see what killed Angela Martin. There was a gunshot wound on her right temple. Her body was still sitting in a chair at her kitchen table. On the floor, under her right hand, was a revolver. There was a lowball glass with some brown liquor in it in front of her body. Jack assumed it was whiskey, because there was a bottle of whiskey on the table. Across the table was another glass, and it was empty. Jack went into the living room, which was just off the kitchen. Sitting on the couch was a woman who looked visibly shaken. Jack sat down on the sofa beside her.
I'm Detective Jack Leon. What's your name?
I'm Carmen Van Houten.
Now, I'm sorry to do this, Miss Van Houten, but can you explain to me how you knew the victim?
Jack had already been given a rough idea about how they met before he arrived at the crime scene. He just wanted to see what Carmen had to say.
We met on a dating app. This was our first date. We went out for dinner and then we came back here for some drinks. Angie asked if she wanted to do something exciting and I said sure. She came out with the revolver and it was not what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be something sexual, you know?
All right, and what happened after she came in with the gun?
Well, she asked if I wanted to play Russian Roulette. She said she had done it before. She said that playing and winning was the greatest rush. It made food and drinks taste better, and it made the air smell sweeter. Of course, it was going to make the sex incredible. So I agreed to play. But I also didn't think that she was serious. I thought it was edgy and dark to even suggest the idea. It was a turn-on, to be honest with you. So we were sitting at the table, and she pushed the gun over to me. She told me to spin the cylinder, point the barrel at my head, and pull the trigger. And like I said, I didn't think she was serious. I figured this was some kind of gag that she did with dates. So I spun the cylinder and then put the gun to my head. I held my breath, and I pulled the trigger. It made a clicking noise, and that was it. And Angie was right, it was a rush, even though I didn't believe that there was really a bullet in the cylinder.
What happened next?
I pushed the revolver across the table, and without hesitating, Angie picked up the revolver and she...
Carmen didn't continue.
That's okay, Miss Van Houten.
Jack said.
You said you met online?
Yeah, on a dating app. You can go through my phone if you want.
I may have to take a look at your messages, if that's okay with you.
Of course. I have nothing to hide.
Okay, so did Miss Marlin seem suicidal, or talk about being depressed, or anything like that during your date?
No, nothing like that at all. I thought that the date was going well up until Angie shot herself in the head.
Jack nodded his head. He had no idea what to think of everything.
Okay. Do you mind if I look at your messages now?
Of course not,
she said. Carmen handed her phone over to Jack.
Thank you.
Jack started reading at the beginning of their messages. They started talking 2 nights earlier. Carmen explained,
I'm Wild Child 01, and Angie is new to town.
All right, thank you. New to town.
Read your profile. I think you're an absolutely fascinating person. Your pic is cute too.
Wild Child 01.
Thanks. I thought the same thing about you.
New to town.
What's your name?
Wild Child 01.
Carmen, you?
New to town.
Angela, but my friends call me Angie. Have you lived in the city for long?
Wild Child 01.
My whole life. How about you?
New to town.
I just moved here 1 month ago. I've been looking for someone to show me around.
Wild Child 01.
I think we can arrange that. How about meeting for dinner at one of the city's best restaurants at 7:30 on Friday night?
New to town.
That sounds great. What's the restaurant?
Wild Child 01.
It's called Our Bolaños. It's on Main Street. I hope you like Chilean food.
New to town.
I love Chilean food. Hopefully they have good empanadas.
Wild Child 01.
Spoiler alert, they are the best empanadas. I'll see you Friday at 7:30.
New to town.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
After reading the messages, Jack handed the phone back to Carmen. He gave her his business card. He also got her phone number.
I'll be sure to call you if I have any follow-up questions.
Jack said.
I'll also get an officer to drive you home, or wherever you want to go. Thank you once again.
A gunshot residue test had been done on Carmen's hand and on Angela's hand, but Jack knew those tests were not reliable. He wouldn't be surprised if the test results came back and indicated that there was no residue on either of their hands. That wasn't to say the gunshot residue tests weren't important. If gunshot powder is found on Carmen's hand and not on Angela's, then it was probably a murder. Jack went back into the kitchen. He picked up the revolver and looked at the cylinder. There was only one spent shell casing in it. Jack's gut told him that this was not a murder for several reasons. For example, Angela and Carmen didn't appear to know each other before meeting on the app. So, what was the motive? It seemed that Angela was shot at point-blank range while she was drinking at the table. There were no signs that there had been a fight before she was shot. It also wasn't some type of catfishing murder. Jack looked at Angela's profile photos on the dating app. He didn't see that there was any deception on her part. They were all photographs of her. He then looked at Carmen's photos. She too had pictures of herself, so no one was hiding anything. Also, Carmen was the one who called 911, and she waited for the ambulance and the police to arrive. Had she killed Angela, she might have slipped away and let someone else find the body. Playing Russian roulette on a date sounded downright bizarre to Jack, but it was plausible. It certainly made more sense than Carmen murdering Angela for no reason. As Jack drove back to the police station, he thought about everything. When Jack got to his desk, he found the results of the gunshot residue tests waiting for him. Neither of their hands had traces of gunshot residue. After Jack read the results of the gunshot residue tests, he concluded what happened that night in Angela's house. What did Jack conclude?
Thanks a lot for watching today's video. We'll have the answer to this video next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. An hour later, we'll have a brand new mystery. Thanks again for watching, and good luck with your investigation.